I need to get this off my chest because it's been eating at me for months. This is going to be a long one, so grab a coffee or whatever you're into. I'm still trying to make sense of what happened last Christmas, and I'm hoping some of you can relate, or at least tell me I'm not crazy for feeling like this. It's not some wild, over-the-top drama, but it's real, messy, and left me questioning a lot about my family. Here goes. I'm 24, living at home with my parents in a smallish town in Michigan. My sister Emily is 21, and she's the golden child, always has been. I don't say that to be bitter, it's just a fact. She's the one who got straight A's, never missed a soccer practice, and somehow always knew how to charm everyone at family gatherings. Me? I'm the quieter one, the reliable one, which is code for we don't worry about him because he doesn't cause trouble. I work as a mechanic at a local shop and I'm good at it, but it's not like anyone's throwing me a parade for fixing transmissions. Christmas has always been a big deal in our house. Mom goes all out with the decorations. Think Hallmark movie levels of tinsel and those annoying motion sensor Santa figures that sing when you walk by. Dad's the type who pretends he's too cool for it, but secretly loves the tradition. Every year, they make a big show of one special gift for each of us. Usually, it's something thoughtful but practical, like a new jacket or a nice set of tools for me. Emily's gifts were always a bit flashier, but I never minded too much. That's just how it was. This past Christmas, though, they took it to a whole new level. I woke up to the smell of Mom's cinnamon rolls and the sound of Emily squealing like she'd just won the lottery. I dragged myself out of bed, still half asleep, and stumbled into the living room. The tree was lit up, presents piled underneath, and Mom was holding her phone, recording like she was Spielberg. Dad had this big, goofy grin on his face, and Emily was practically vibrating with excitement. "Jake, come on, you gotta see this." Emily grabbed my arm and yanked me toward the front door. I was still in my flannel pajama pants, barefoot, and the cold hit me like a slap when we stepped outside. There, in the driveway, was a shiny red Honda Civic with a massive bow on the hood, like something straight out of a car commercial. Emily lost it. She was screaming, jumping up and down, hugging Mom and Dad like they'd just handed her the keys to a spaceship. I stood there, freezing my ass off, trying to match her energy with a smile. "Holy crap, Em, that's awesome," I said, and I meant it. I knew how much she'd been stressing about her old beater of a car, a '99 Corolla that barely survived the winter. She'd been saving up for something better, but college loans and her part-time barista job weren't exactly paving the way. A new car was a game changer for her, and I was genuinely happy to see her so stoked. Mom and Dad were beaming, soaking up her reaction. "We've been planning this for months," Mom said, wiping a tear from her eye. "You deserve it, sweetie." Dad nodded, all proud, like he'd personally assembled the car himself. I clapped Emily on the back, made some joke about her not crashing it in the first week, and we all went back inside to open the rest of the presents. That's when things started feeling off. Under the tree, my special gift was a new socket wrench set. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice set, high-end, the kind I'd been eyeing at work for a while. But as I sat there watching Emily gush about her car, I couldn't help but feel this weird pang. A car's a big deal. A socket wrench set, even a fancy one, isn't exactly in the same league. I pushed the thought down, told myself I was being petty. Emily's younger. She's in school. She needed the car more than I did. I've got a decent truck, paid off, and I'm doing fine. Why was I even comparing? But then Mom said something that stuck with me, We were in the kitchen later, cleaning up wrapping paper, and she casually mentioned that they'd been saving up for Emily's car since she started college. We knew she'd need something reliable to get her through, she said, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. I nodded, but inside, I was doing the math. A new Civic, even a base model, is what, $25,000. More with taxes and fees. They'd been planning this for years. Meanwhile, my big gift was maybe $200 tops. I tried to let it go. Christmas isn't about keeping score, right? But the rest of the day, I couldn't shake this feeling, like I was an afterthought. Emily was still buzzing, talking about taking the car to visit her friends at school, planning road trips, all that. Mom and Dad kept encouraging her, asking if she wanted to get custom floor mats or whatever. I felt like I was just there, fading into the background. Then came the real kicker. A few days after Christmas, I was at the shop, working on a customer's SUV, when my buddy Mike asked how my holiday went. I told him about Emily's car, trying to keep it light, but he raised an eyebrow. "Damn, a new car? What did you get?" I laughed it off, mentioned the wrench set, but Mike gave me this look, like he knew exactly what I was feeling but didn't want to say it out loud. "That's nice, man," he said, and changed the subject. When I got home that night, I overheard Mom and Dad talking in the living room. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but the house is small, and voices carry. They were discussing the car payment plan. Turns out they'd taken out a loan to cover part of the cost. Dad was saying something about how it was worth it for Emily's future. And Mom agreed, saying they didn't want her stuck with a clunker like she'd been. Then Dad said, "Jake's fine. He's got his truck, and he's always been good at managing." That hit me like a punch to the gut. I stood there in the hallway, holding my work boots, feeling like I'd been slapped. It wasn't just about the car or the wrench set. It was the way they talked about me. Like I was some dependable old dog who didn't need attention because I'd manage. Like my needs, my dreams, my future didn't require the same kind of investment. I went to my room and just sat there for a while, staring at the ceiling. I'm not an emotional guy. Most of my coworkers would probably say I'm too laid back. But I felt this lump in my throat, like I was 12 years old again, watching Emily get all the praise while I was just there. I started thinking back to all the little moments growing up. How Mom and Dad always showed up to Emily's games but missed half of mine because of work. How they'd brag about her college acceptance letters but barely mentioned my trade school graduation. It's not like they don't love me. I know they do. But it's like they've always assumed I'm fine, so they don't have to try as hard. I didn't say anything to them. What was I supposed to say? Hey, why didn't I get a car? That sounds so childish, so entitled. I'm a grown-ass man. I pay my bills. I don't need my parents buying me stuff. But it's not about the stuff, It's about feeling like I matter as much as my sister does. Like my life is worth planning for, too. Things got weirder a couple weeks later. Emily came home from a weekend trip with her friends, all excited about her car, and mentioned she'd gotten a parking ticket. No big deal, right? Except Mom laughed it off and said, "Oh, don't worry. We'll take care of it." I was sitting at the kitchen table, eating a sandwich, and I almost choked. They're paying her parking tickets now? I mean, I get it, she's still in school, but I've been paying my own way since I was 18. Rent, phone bill, insurance. Nobody's ever offered to take care of it for me. I finally snapped a little. Not in a yelling way, just I couldn't keep it in anymore. I waited until Emily was out of the house And I asked Mom point blank why they were still babying her when she's 21. I didn't bring up the car, but I mentioned the parking ticket and how it felt like they were always bending over backwards for her. Mom looked surprised, like she hadn't expected me to care. "Jake, we're just helping her get on her feet," she said. "You've always been so independent. We didn't think you needed that kind of help." Independent. That word again. It's like a compliment and a curse at the same time. Yeah, I'm independent, but does that mean I don't get to feel supported? Does that mean I'm just supposed to suck it up forever because I'm fine? Dad overheard and chimed in, saying they didn't want Emily to feel stressed while she's in school. I get that, I do. College is hard, and she's got enough on her plate. But I wanted to scream. What about me? I didn't, though. I just nodded, said something about how I understood, and went to my room. I felt like an idiot for even bringing it up. Since then, things have been tense. Not like we're fighting, but I've been keeping my distance. I started picking up extra shifts at the shop, partly to save up for a new place, partly to avoid being home. Emily's oblivious. She's still riding the high of her new car, posting about it on Instagram like it's her firstborn child. Mom and Dad haven't noticed anything's wrong, or if they have, they haven't said anything. I don't know how to talk to them about this without sounding like a jealous kid throwing a tantrum. I keep wondering if I'm overreacting. Maybe this is just how families work. Someone's always going to get more attention, more help, more something. Maybe I'm being unfair to Emily, who didn't ask for any of this. She's not the problem. She's just living her life. But I can't shake this feeling that I'm invisible to my parents, like I'm just the background noise in their perfect little movie starring Emily. I've been thinking about moving out for real, maybe even to a different city. I love my job, but there's a shop in Grand Rapids that's been hiring, and it's only a couple hours away. It'd be a fresh start, a chance to figure out who I am when I'm not reliable Jake, who's always fine. But every time I think about it, I get this knot in my stomach. What if I leave and nothing changes? What if I'm still just me, carrying this stupid resentment around like a backpack full of bricks? Reddit. Am I being a baby about this? Has anyone else felt like the forgotten kid in their family? How do you deal with it without blowing up everything? I don't want to hate my parents or my sister, but I'm so tired of feeling like I'm on the outside looking in. TLDR. My parents surprised my sister with a new car for Christmas, and I got a wrench set. It's not about the gifts. It's about feeling like they care more about her future than mine. Things got weirder when I overheard them talking about how I'm fine and don't need help. Now I'm questioning my place in the family and thinking about moving out. Am I overreacting?